What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Packers Rookie Preview debut episode. I am Tyler Brook, at Tyler D. Brook on Twitter. First off, thank you so much for watching. Last year, we did Packers Rookie Preview a little bit different. We did weekly articles on Acme Packing Company, tweet threads, things like that. I figured, still wanted to do stuff with Acme Packing Company, but turn this into more of a video format so you guys can see a little bit more like a real-time, more engaging look as we go through like a process of watching a prospect. What do we like? What do we not like? What kind of role can we see them in Green Bay? Really exciting opportunity. We got tons of film. Shout out to Justice. He did a great job getting this set up. So let's take a look. We're going to looking at, starting with, obviously, first-round pick Lukas Van Ness, the edge rusher out of Iowa. So let's go ahead and pull up some of these numbers here. 6'5", 272 pounds, 34-inch arms, big ol' mitts, 11-inch hands, 9.39 RAS. So really, total Packers type and a body type. Bigger edge rusher, can kick inside the D-line. You're going to hear a lot about how he was not a starter at Iowa. But, despite that, in 2 years, 13 sacks, 19 tackles for loss. And we're not going to be able to show this part on the video. But he was, for not being a starter, he was on the field a lot. I think it was something like 900-plus snaps in 2 seasons. So, I think the argument about him not being a starter, little blown out of proportion, is just the way Iowa operated. They liked to have seniors on the starting lineup. You really needed to earn that starting job. One of the theories is that they may have tried to stash Van Ness, hoping he wouldn't go pro as early as he did. You're dealing with an athlete like that had production and, I guess a technically more limited role. We're going to see why he was a first-round pick here. So let's go ahead and dive into the film. Before we get into that, if you end up liking this content, let me know through Twitter at Tyler D. Brook. Comments on this YouTube channel. I will try to do more of these. This is kind of an ongoing process, right? First video. But any feedback's appreciated. We're going to try and keep making this better. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the good with Lukas Van Ness. You're going to hear this a lot. This guy really likes to bull rush. We talked about the 34-inch arms. We talked about the 272-pound frame. This game against Ohio State, you can really see where he brings this value. So what we're seeing right here, you can't see my mouse, but what you're going to see on the right side, number 91, Lukas Van Ness, going against Paris Johnson, top 10 pick in this draft by the Arizona Cardinals, and obviously C.J. Stroud, the number 2 pick by the Houston Texans. He wins with bull rush a lot. What we're going to see here, he's going to attack. We're going to show this play full. Look at him extend, get through that bull rush. Stroud makes a great throw there, but let's slow this down a little bit. All right, so again, we're seeing here 2-point stance. He's attacking. He's going right for that chest. Watch him get fully extended. Look at Paris Johnson's head snap back. Look at the hands above the eyes. You'll hear Justice talk about that a lot. It's a leverage battle, right? If you can get extended, keep your legs driving, and get your hands above your eyes, you're driving that offensive tackle backwards. So we're seeing that great extension. I mean, look, his head keeps getting snapped back. He keeps those legs moving. And by the time Stroud releases this throw, Paris Johnson's ankle is on his foot. He is not delivering this ball cleanly. I know he completes the pass. We're going over evaluation over the results, right? Impressive bull rush, collapse the pocket. The left tackle is in Stroud's lap. That's a win of a rush to me. That's impressive. Let's go on to the next play. All right, so again, 2-point stance. We got alignment, one-on-one with Paris Johnson. Here he goes again. He's going speed. He's going power. He's getting extended. Again, hands above the eyes, driving those legs. He gets some help from interior. Jack Campbell comes in with an inside rush as well. Another first-round pick by the Detroit Lions. We can make fun of that another day. I think Jack Campbell's a great player. Maybe not a first-round pick. That's not who we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Lukas Van Ness. So, again, fully extended. And you're dealing with Paris Johnson. That guy's got like 36-inch arms. He should win that extension battle. But with hand placement here with Van Ness, look, Paris Johnson can't even get a clean strike on him. He's getting driven back. Look at how Stroud is throwing this ball. He can't step into it because he's got Van Ness, and then he's got Campbell coming the other side. He's like drifting. That's not a clean throwing platform. So let's keep moving on. So here we go. Another 2-point stance. This time we're against Michigan. Here he goes again, bull rush. He realizes too much depth maybe from the left tackle. So he's going to cut this inside on the bull rush. I mean, that tackle has no chance. I think that's McCarthy. And he cannot get that ball off cleanly. Let's watch it again. Again, look at how low his hips are and his pads into that point of contact. He's going to keep his legs driving. Then he kind of does this little rip through move to get inside. He sees the depth of where the tackle's going and how far deep McCarthy is. Watch this. Watch this little move right here when he makes contact. A little here, a little rip through. He's right on the quarterback. Guy can't do anything. Again, another nice rep, good awareness there, realizing that McCarthy's not gaining too much depth in his drop back, and so we get a pressure there. Bad throw, incompletion. That's a win. All right, back to the Ohio State game. This time he's going against DeJuan Jones. The Mountain, they called him, Big Thanos at Ohio State. Just a very, very large human. So he's not going to win with speed a lot. He doesn't really have that bend at the moment. We'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But what I wanted to show you guys here, he's trying to get there. It looks like Iowa's trying to run a stunt. You see number 99 and 95. It looks like they're trying to slant outside where Van Ness is trying to loop around them. So I don't think this is a perfect play, but I think it was still worth pointing out. Watch the quickness to just stop that, kind of push DeJuan Jones. You're going to see him go spinning a little bit here. And he's retracing, loses his balance, but keeps fighting. We're going to talk about motor a little bit in a bit, but I just love the effort play here, right? It's not the cleanest, twist stunt play. But, we can see the idea here. He loses his balance, doesn't give up on the play. I think Stroud could get that out a little faster. Still results in a key play for Iowa. Again, I don't think we mentioned this yet. This game was an absolute blowout, but we're not talking about scores. We're not talking about touchdowns here. We want to see what he can do. So we talked a little bit about the pass rush. Now let's go ahead and talk about run defense. Guys, Packers struggled against the run. Van Ness can kick inside. I do believe if he bulked up, he could play a little 5-tech. They drafted him to be an edge. I think there's some versatility here. And even as an edge setter, Preston Smith, I think more educated Packers fans realize the impact he brings, especially on those early downs. He's a phenomenal edge setter. You're going to see some similar stuff on tape with Van Ness. So here we go against Ohio State. You can see 2 tight ends. You got Paris Johnson. They're trying to combo block him. I don't think he gets super low with his pad level here, but just watch how he's just able to hold his ground. I mean, ball's not going his way, but he does not stop fighting. Eventually it comes back. His defensive back, I think that's Riley Moss. His secondary's there to help clean up. He's not getting moved off his spot. Again, you're dealing with a top 10 pick and a tight end here. And he's, the way he handles the point of contact, what you want from a defensive lineman there. You want them to explode through the hips, extend with the arms, keep those feet moving. Otherwise, you're just going to get washed out. To take on a combo block against, again, top 10 pick tight end like that, pretty impressive. We got a few more plays like that. We have 2 games of film for you guys, Michigan and Ohio State. This shows up a lot. Here we go again against Paris Johnson. Look at that leverage battle. You can see how low he is here when he gets extended. 91 on the right side. Look, he's not even fully launched through his hips. His legs are not locked out yet. Look at this. He just keeps driving. I know the guy loses balance a little bit, but he's just launching through. He's not giving up. Drives Paris Johnson into the ground. All right, here we go again. It's a little blurry, I know. Van Ness on the right side here over Michigan's left tackle. Here we go. Again, look at him get extended. Try to push-pull his way out of that. Run's not going his way, but again, this is just kind of technique stuff you want to see. You want to see him explode through the hips there, like you're seeing, getting extended. It's going to be a value when guys are running his way. He can't get knocked off his spot. It's something you really like to see. Van Ness here, he's an interior. He's over the center, right? At that little angle. You can see him right above McCarthy. So here we go. Look at him just move Oluwatimi. Again, he was a draft pick. He was a day 3 guy. He had some interesting tape, but just he couldn't handle Van Ness on this play. Just watch. He has a plan for what he's trying to do, and at this point, Oluwatimi is just fighting to seal him off. And, Van Ness knows not to gain too much depth. That's the thing. A lot of younger defensive linemen or guys with their hand in the dirt, bad habit. Getting too far upfield, once you win that one-on-one battle. You get too far upfield, you're giving up rushing lanes. And I think that's something a lot of fans want to see. We talk about Kalijah Cansey a lot during the draft process, right? Really exciting player that can penetrate and get into the backfield. That's not what Van Ness is trying to do here. Watch. He's winning the battle. He's keeping his eyes in the backfield. He's staying home. Then he's disengaging. Corum's a heck of a back, so he slips out, keeps his feet moving. But that's what you want here. You want him to win the one-on-one battle, win the point of attack, and then wait to make his move. We'll talk a little bit about where this could be cleaned up a little bit later in the bad, but I still wanted to show it. Again, not a play that's going to show up on the highlight reel, but something important in run defense. Got a few more plays here on the good. Again, here's another combo block with Van Ness. Just keeps fighting. It's one thing that you don't see in, maybe some day 2, day 3 defensive linemen you get frustrated with is leg drive. They're not keeping their legs moving. Again, here's Michigan. They know Van Ness is playing on the inside, and they're like, we need to combo block this guy and trying to move him out of the way. He just keeps fighting. It's that leverage battle. It's the legs moving. It's the extension. Again, just look at the leverage he has on this guy. Right here. Look. I mean, it's kind of hard to see because it's a little muddy, but he's just at this angle where he's not getting pushed back. His legs are dug in the dirt. That gap this running back has nowhere to run. They're trying to run right behind the center, and they have that insert blocker. I think that's Schoonmaker, or it's at least some tight end. They're trying to insert him, take on Campbell. Van Ness just plugs this hole with Campbell. The running back has nowhere to go. Again, he's a slippery back. That's a nice run. But again, these are things that matter on an 11-man defense. You're not always going to be the guy making the sack or the TFL. You got to fill your lane, know your job, constrict rushing lanes. Packers fans, you should know this at this point. Too many times you're watching guys get washed out of plays. It creates huge running plays. So this is a guy that you need. You need him as a pass rusher, but you need him as a run defender. Believe this is our last play we got. Again, just hip launch and extension. I know it's not a flashy play. You're going to keep seeing it. Get extended. Shoot through. Nothing going to do. I lied. This is the last play. We're just going to talk about his motor and his tackling power real quick. Backside, it's so easy to give up on one of these plays. Watch Van Ness here on the right going against Paris Johnson. It's a little outside toss. So what we're seeing here, Van Ness going into his pass rush. He thinks that's what he sees from the tackle. Realizes this is not. Scoops back inside. Tries to swim away. And then watch here. It doesn't look like he's fully sprinting, and I don't think he is. I think he's trying to take the right angle in pursuit on backside. So I really like this. You're going to see at the end. Just watch here. He's taking the angle. Boom. Thud. He can pop some pads, man. I mean, at 272 pounds, you want him to tackle like this. I mean, that's got to hurt. So we just went through the good. Let's go through the bad. Bad might be a little strong here. Again, he's a first-round pick. Things aren't going to be perfect. He's only had 2 years of game experience. You're not seeing a lot of the technical polish and things like that. So I think it's worth pointing this out. Let's go ahead here. Really easy one to start. It's just his 2-point stance. He looks a bit jittery and uncomfortable with it. Watch here. 91 on the left. He's kind of twitching. It doesn't look like he's fully loaded up on his front foot. He's unsure of his alignment. I think if you're a little bit more loaded on that foot, you're not twitching as much, and you're going to have a better get-off. He looks uncomfortable with it, right? Don't think he's super low. He's too jittery. Obviously, you see here, it's a defensive touchdown for Iowa. Again, that's not what we're talking about here. We're just trying to talk about process, what we see on film. Just a guy not super comfortable with that 2-point stance yet. And, it's not the end of the world right now. Someone can coach that up, and clearly it worked for him still. He's going to win with athleticism and bull rush. Something else you'll see on scouting reports. I'm not sure this is a total negative. He's a little out of control at times, so I think you'll see what I mean right here. You're going to see him on the back side of this. Stroud's going to try and sell the rollout. It's not going to go well for him. We're going to see it here. That could be a flag. I don't think he gets called for it. But that's what we're talking about when we mean out of control. He's full speed, full go, and you love that from a prospect, especially a first-round prospect. This kind of stuff might not go great for you in the NFL level in a league where they're constantly trying to protect quarterbacks. But it's entertaining. It's a fun play to watch. But it is that you want a competitive guy. Matt LaFleur talked about it. Need more dogs. Just thought it was worth pointing out. Sometimes a little bit out of control. Here we go. Van Ness on the right side. Coverage. Preston Smith, at times has done a bit more coverage responsibilities. And if, we're thinking of Van Ness as that potential long-term successor to Preston, going to see some zone coverage abilities. He's dropping in zone here. He's trying to hit his landmark. I could be wrong about how Iowa coaches this. Typically, when you're dropping in, you should naturally know your landmark. I believe his right here is the hash. You want to keep your eyes on the quarterback in zone. You want to know where he's throwing so you can break down on that ball. We're seeing a hesitant guy here. Again, right side. Look, his eyes are immediately going to his landmark. He keeps trying to look back. Keeps looking where everyone is. I don't know what the hands are doing. That doesn't look like he got it super comfortable. He does make a nice tackle. Stover's a pretty big guy, so that's again, nice pop, but well, we'll just watch this all at once. He's looking too many places. He's looking uncomfortable in it. We don't see a ton of drop coverage from him on film, at least in these 2 games. But worth noting, something they may ask him to do. I'm not sure. I expect more of pass rush and inside help on run defense, but it was worth noting. Here we go. Back to Michigan game. He doesn't always have a plan of attack. It can be a little frustrating. I mean, here, I feel like, you're getting the slide step, the kick step from the left tackle. He seems a little confused on what to do here. He looks like he kind of wants to go inside, kind of wants to go out. That's not what you want to see on a pass rush, especially from a quick throw like this. He does start to get around the edge a little bit, but I think it's more of just the offensive lineman's confused about what he's trying to do. Again, I don't think he was ready for that pass set, and he seems a little thrown off. You don't see a lot of moves. I think later in the season, I don't have any film of it, but in the Big Ten Championship, he does work a couple moves that you really like to see. That'll come. I mean, Packers fans know about Rashawn Gary. Very raw prospect, just won a lot with power and athleticism. This past year, he got a couple moves going, and it really worked out for him. So, it's not a hopeless endeavor. Here we go. Van Ness on the left. Just kind of struggling here. Get disengaged. Again, not knowing what kind of move to work. Kind of lets him get into him. He thinks he's going bull rush, but it's that step again. I mean, Paris Johnson's forcing the issue here. He's not getting vertical. He's not gaining depth on the pass set. He's going right after Van Ness. And Van Ness doesn't know how to handle that. He tries to go inside, tries to work back out. He's trying to get, corral Stroud. Stroud just escapes, get a throw off. Seems like those kick steps, those pass sets where the tackle's trying to get width instead of depth, Van Ness isn't always ready for it. Back here, we got an interior look at Van Ness here, going against the right guard. Balance issues come up a little bit. He can kind of get eaten into the dirt. It's because he plays so low and plays with leverage so much, which is a great thing. It's not always going to work out. So you're going to see a couple plays here where he just kind of loses his footing. It's not ideal, but I think I'll take it because there's too many. We watched 164 prospects. I'm sure I watched like 20 to 30 edge rushers. Guys play with bad pad level a lot, especially in the college game. So I think I'll live with the couple reps I saw where he loses his footing. We're going to see another one right here. 91 in between the guard and the tackle. He just plays too low, gets dirted, isn't able to create a pass rush. Believe that's a touchdown for Ohio State. Next one. Going as tackle. He can struggle to disengage from blocks in the run defense. Like, he can constrict rushing lanes. He can do all that. He can struggle to get off that block. Like, great, you constricted the rushing lane. Running back's right next to you. Get off that block. Get off that block. Make the play. It's going to make him a lot more productive. Again, it's a hand usage thing. I think it's something that'll come with time, more experience, different coaching. Iowa plays a very specific brand of defense and offense, if we want to call it that. But just something to keep an eye on. Again, he's struggling to work off that block. Can't get it. Did a great job of winning that initial battle, but can't get off the block. Here we go again. He's playing, against the right guard, 91. Here we go. Just he can't get off. Got to get off there a little faster. I know he's running a pass rush that time, but find a way to disengage when that quarterback's next to you. Get that free sack. Last one here. He looks a little stiff at times. I mean, he's unblocked here for a pass rush, right? What you want here, ideally, you want him to aim for the quarterback's back shoulder. It's going to help you with angles when he tries to redirect, whether that's stepping in or rolling out. Here, it looks like he's a little excited and is kind of aiming for the front shoulder. That looks like his path, so the quarterback rolls out. It's not the worst bend and turn around, but he just can't get to him. McCarthy's a mobile quarterback, so I know this is pick and nits a little bit on a pass rush, but, worth pointing out. A slightly better angle, that should be in a game plan against a more mobile, athletic quarterback like McCarthy. Just make sure you're taking a better angle there. You're probably preventing him from rolling out on that and getting a touchdown. So that's all we got. That is the first episode of Packers Rookie Preview. Thinking about Van Ness, he's going to have a much more early down impact, I think, especially with Rashawn Gary out. I'm curious how his pass rush works. Is that bull rush going to translate? I think it will, especially in certain matchups. Think about Zadarius Smith and how he used to have some interior pass rush reps on third down. It's going to be very interesting with the other rookies we'll talk about later in this series. But overall, take him at 15. I know Packers fans, 13. We're talking about the Jets trade. I know Packers fans are going to be upset they didn't get Jackson Smith and Jigba, but we'll go into the wide receivers and tight ends in these coming episodes. Van Ness brings tons of athleticism, tons of power. He's going to be a 3-down player that can stop the run, bull rush on pass rushing situations. Seems like an absolute win for the Packers. So that'll do it here. I'm Tyler Brook. Thanks for watching.